halfway home in our Gatorade Home Run Derby. The first man up, Ruben Sierra, still the leader in the clubhouse. But now, time for the heavy metal. The menacing figure of the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas at the plate. A legitimate Triple Crown chance. Second in homers with 32. Fourth in ribbies with 78. First in average at the break, 383. He scored 93 runs, Joe.
Well, he's just amazing. All of his statistics are better, just overall, he's just a great player.
41 homers last year, unanimous MVP.
And
if 32 at the break.
If he had to vote today, he'd probably be the MVP in the American League again today, with Ken Griffey Jr. being a close second.
Pirates fans booing their own coach, Rich Donnelly, for the brushback.
You get a walk loss first, you can lose. Here we go.
In batting practice, Thomas hit the longest BP home run. Almost to there. Will this stay fair? Not quite. He hit it in the fourth deck. In fair territory in BP, that just goes as a long out. Man.
He is so strong. And I mean, he has everything going for him. He has a quick bat and he's strong.
Does Donnelly know exactly where Thomas would like it? Like there? As it goes way back to left. Back it goes. An upper decker.
Maybe he should get 2 for that.
He should.
Well, he's asked the batting practice pitcher to slow down a little bit. Frank wants to savor this moment.
Had just missed the blimp on its way down to short center. The home run by Thomas, 510 feet. The longest ever, remember, in a game here. Obviously different conditions. Greg Luzinski, 483 back in 1979. 3 outs for Frank. And Ruben Sierra started off with 4. He's the leader at the halfway mark.
Well, Frank Thomas is really doing this the proper way. He is taking his time until he gets into a groove. He's not just standing there swinging like a machine. I think if he finds a groove, he will stay in the batter's box. But until he does that, he's going to take his time.
6'5", 257 pounds from Columbus, Georgia. The National League players, Joe, during the batting practice before the game, they looked across into the AL dugout and said, man, I think Frank Thomas is getting bigger. They hadn't seen him since the spring. 5 outs, just 1 homer, albeit a monstrous one for Frank Thomas. Gets under this too much. Ruben Sierra's 4 got the American League off on the right foot, so they lead at 7-3. Next up for the National League, the man who, of these 8 players, has the most lifetime homers, Fred McGriff. He has 251. Halfway to 500 is the crime dog. So Thomas, with 3 outs left, certainly wants to nail one, which he does. Back. Gone. It's got to scare a pitcher to try to dig in and pitch to Frank, doesn't it, Joe?
Well, especially because he's not a pull hitter. He hits a lot of balls back through the middle and right center field.
This one is way back to left center field. Way back and gone. Off the Will Clark sign on the facade of the upper deck.
That is awesome. The first one that was hit into the upper deck down the line. This is out in left center field. I mean, that is over the 375 mark and about another 100 feet up.
525 feet, Joe.
Yeah, I knew that one was farther than the first one. That is unbelievable.
I don't even think John Daly can reach that.
No.
2 outs left for Frank. Boy.
I'd hate to be the guy following this act, though.
Yes. Well, that swing, it looked like he said, well, how can I swing harder than the one I just sent 525? That's McGriff who's next.
Actually, McGriff is probably the perfect guy to follow because he will not be in awe.
Yeah, but they all want to see. Look at the crowd here. The last swing for Frank Thomas. This is a heck of a scene here, Joe.
Well, the fans are into it as well as the players. You can hear the National League players saying, throw him a changeup, throw him a changeup in the background.
Here it goes. Back to left field. Back. Gone!
Well, he needed that to tie Sierra in case there is a tie and to get into a playoff. Now he has a chance to take the lead.
Down to his last swing. Thomas is tied for the lead. Now again with his last swing, can he take the lead? He grunted and groaned at that one. And listen to the applause for the Big Hurt.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a standing ovation in the home run hitting contest. They usually clap a lot, but this is a standing ovation.
26 years of age, he's just becoming a great hitter. What will he be 3 years from now, Joe?
Well, he's not bad now, Chris. In fact, it doesn't get any better than this swing here. Watch, he generates a lot of power with this swing. Bat speed, he even comes off the ground with his back foot. And this is a tremendous drive in the left center field. I have seen Willie Stargell hit him that far to right field, but no one has hit him that far to left field.
And look at the dugout, Joe. It's Kenny Lofton and Chuck Knobloch and Kirby Party. They're like kids at a candy store. Frank Thomas has certainly lit it up here in Pittsburgh. Can Jr. do it when he comes to the plate? We'll be back. For the last week or so, just became a member of the 250 home run club. McGriff has hit 30 or more home runs in 6 straight seasons. And with 23 at the break is obviously well on his way to number 7. He's only the 12th man to hit 30 or more in 6 straight seasons. Of the other 11, 10 are in the Hall of Fame. Ruth, Aaron, Gehrig, Fox, Matthews, Mantle, Kiner, Killebrew, Mays, and McCovey. The only one not in the Hall of Fame, Mike Schmidt, and he sure will be. So that puts into perspective what McGriff has done in Toronto, San Diego, and now Atlanta.
Well, that's great company to be in.
Yeah. 6'3", 215 is the crime dog. Drafted by the Yankees in '81 in the 9th round before they sent him as an untried youngster to Toronto in a big trade. Then, of course, the celebrated trade to San Diego in December of '90. This is a celebrated blast. Way back to right. Gone. A second decker.
Well, McGriff was my sleeper. I figured that McGriff could be the guy to get into a perfect groove and hit 6 or 7 home runs.
Again, he, like Frank Thomas, is not so anxious to swing at every pitch. Rip to right. Back it goes. Back. Gone. 2 for Fred McGriff. You know, with all the credentials that he has, Joe, this is just his second All-Star game.
Well, people have a tendency to take him for granted. He's just so consistent.
Like that swing. We've seen it 251 times in the majors and major league games. We've seen it 3 times this afternoon. Junior can feel the heat. With McGriff, the NL is catching up. 10-6.
McGriff has the 3 home runs. He's only made 2 outs. It's a long way to go.
Well, speaking of a long way to go, look at this one, Joe. Off the facade of the restaurant, just below the upper deck. He's now tied with Thomas and Sierra for the individual lead. He only has 2 outs. We will not see Fred hit many in this competition to left field, will
no.
we? That'll go as a routine out to center. Albert Litton. Can Griffey Jr. get ready? This one, will it get out? No.
Hard enough, but not high enough.
Almost hit his team sign, the Braves, which is right down the right field line. 3-way tie thus far. Next homer, McGriff takes the lead. Will this be it? Yes, sir! Jeff Bagwell, knowing that he'll have a chance between him and McGriff to maybe pull it out for the National League. Already McGriff the leader with 5 homers. He has just 4 outs. If you add up Thomas's 4, they're longer than McGriff's 5, but that's not what we're doing here. David,
teammate.
Yep, rooting him on. David Justice. Rainmaker will not make it. Down and in, McGriff wisely lays off. McGriff has gotten him right back in it, Joe. Does this have the distance? Back it goes to right. Not quite.
The only trouble with the home run hitting contest sometimes, Chris, is if the opposing pitchers are watching, they can tell where you love the baseball.
Right. Watch out down there. Ooh, there's a shot into the crowd. 7 outs now for Fred McGriff. Quiet, personable young man from Tampa, Florida.
In fact, the Braves just renewed his contract. They picked up the option for the 95 season. I don't think Freddie's happy with that because he wants to sign a long-term contract. He says he's tired of moving around, and he deserves to be in one place.
This one down the line, just below the Braves sign and right. Last swing now for Fred McGriff. And the crowd comes alive. Gets under this one, and that'll do it. But not until we have ourselves a new leader. With just 1 batter left from each league, the leader with 5 homers, Fred McGriff of the Braves. Fred is with our Buck Martinez down on the all year long. Junior Griffey of the Mariners. We'll be back in league. Ken Griffey Jr., who set a new major league record for home runs at the end of the month of May with 22, breaking the old mark of Mickey Mantle. He set a new major league record for home runs at the end of June with 32, breaking the old mark held by the Babe with 30. Can he set a new record at the end of 162 games? Boy, that's something you've been quite vocal about, Joe. He doesn't need to chase Roger Maris at 61.
I certainly hope he doesn't get that close. I hope he hits over 50 and has a great season. But I saw what it did to Roger Maris, and he was a veteran. And Ken Griffey Jr. is still mature, and I'd hate for that to be a blemish on his career and his attitude, because he has such a great attitude. In fact, I've seen a little of the smile that I saw at the beginning of the season kind of fade away a little bit with all the pressure.
Every day you're on such and such a pace. Remember, as Griffey hits this one a long way but foul, remember, only 11 individuals have ever hit 50 home runs.
Right. And that would be okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Rep to right. This is a no-doubter. Back it goes. Griffey is on the board off the facade of the restaurant. Or the auxiliary press back there.
He has such a natural home run swing that he doesn't really have to change a lot for this competition. He has a slight uppercut in his swing. Unlike Frank Thomas, Thomas doesn't really have that uppercut. He just hits the ball so hard quite often, and it goes out.
Rip to right. Foul. The homer by Griffey went 454 feet. Remember, he will not be. Here's Jeff Bagwell, who will hit cleanup and last for the National League. Remember, Griffey won't be 25 until November this year. I think that ball went to November. That's up in Pop Stargell territory.
Yes, it is.
Rip to right. Back it goes. Back, back, back. Another upper decker.
Who are these guys? Hey, if you're Bagwell, you're sitting there saying, now what can I do?
Well, the National League had climbed to within 10-8. Now they're down 13-8. Griffey, 165 lifetime home runs, was the 6th youngest major leaguer ever to make it to 100. The only ones faster: Ott, Tony Conigliaro, Matthews, Pensionary. Back it goes. A low liner for a home run. Number 4.
I don't know what's going through Jeff's mind, but he's probably saying, I need some help.
Yes.
Number 5.
4 homers, 5 outs for Jr. He's actually born in Pennsylvania, Denora, Pennsylvania. Of course, grew up in Cincinnati.
You know who else was born there? You know who else? The great Stan Musial.
Yes,
You forgot?
I didn't
You
forget.
forgot? I mean, I was trying to build you up.
The 525-foot homers are killing me. Down the line. Fair ball. Gone. That ties him with McGriff.
Well, I said you had to give the nod to Griffey, but McGriff was my sleeper. He came through for me.
Last year, Griffey lost in a playoff with Gonzalez. 2 years ago at San Diego, his 7 were second to Mark McGwire's 12. Can he win it this year? Well,
yes.
Yes, he can.
See, I tell you, all of this is just a natural swing for Griff. Everyone else has to try to help it a little bit. But this is just his natural swing.
Remember, he hit the warehouse at Camden Yards last year. He's just hit the warehouse at Camden Yards again, except it's about 400 miles from here. Come on, baby! That one 475. Down to his Rojo. What's the matter with him?
Single, yeah.
What's the matter with him? Can he hit? Yeah, well, what do you think, Red?